Next week is December. I'm not sure how, but that's what I've been told. And that means we're just a few weeks away from a completely new year. And since 2020 and 2021 have really sucked the life out of us, what better way to turn things around for 2022 than by setting clear and intentional goals for your business or your future business and, of course, your life. So in this episode of Biz Booze, we're going to do just that. I'm going to be taking you through a goal and revenue planning sesh so that you can set a clear vision and kick 2022 ass instead of the other way around. So grab yourself a drink, girl. It is time to think. I'm Laura Marks, and this is Biz Booze, a weekly happy hour to help women across the globe start and grow their dream businesses. So if you're into that kind of thing, like drinking while you're thinking, then click subscribe so that you can join me and a fun-loving bunch of female entrepreneurs every single week for some beverages and brain stimulation. It's really important that as entrepreneurs, we're data-driven and we're basing decisions based on where we want to go and what it's going to take to get there, as opposed to just working our butts off, hustling, and crossing our fingers that all that hard work will pay off. And in order to do this, you need to set a clear vision as well as clear goals, both qualitatively and quantitatively. So what you want your life and business to look like in the short and long term, and that cash money that you want to make in order to make that happen. What's more, writing down your vision and goals for your future and the future of your business is not only exciting, it is strongly associated with your success. Studies show that people who write down their goals, who do exercises just like the one I'm going to take you through in this episode, are much more likely to achieve those goals at a significantly higher level when compared to those who don't. You actually become 42% more likely to achieve your goals and dreams simply by writing them down on a regular basis. So this process will allow you to see your opportunities in new ways and more frequently and make them more tangible and believable and therefore achievable. Totally just rhymed, and that was not on purpose. So this is going to be a good one, but before we get into it, of course, we're going to be talking about the booze real quickly. And it's not an exciting one. I don't have a story about it. I'm just drinking beer from a Goose Island cup. It's good. It's very heady because I was in a little bit of a rush when I poured it. Usually I'm like very strategic about how I pour to make sure that there is no head whatsoever because I am not a fan of head. What I do is I have like this whole like pour at an angle technique with like a certain flow speed. Just like if I'm doing it right and it's a good beer, it will remove 99% of the head. It's not something I should really be bragging about. It just comes from years of experience because I'm bougie. So I like to have my beer in glasses. I mean, I like it out of the can too, but if I have a good glass, I'm going to put it to work. Okay, enough about that. We're going to kick things off with a really fun visualization exercise. For this exercise, be sure to grab a notes app or a note and pen if you're into that kind of thing, and follow along and do this as you're watching or listening, as long as you are not in the shower. That might be a little bit harder, or you're operating any heavy machinery. But if you're hanging out, do this with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so step number 1, we're going to visualize your future. I want you to visualize your picture perfect future. The point here is for you to really get clear on where you want to take your business and yourself in your life and your family. If you have a posse like that, your squad, where you want to take you guys, let's say 3 years from now. Where do you want to be? What is it that you've achieved at this point in your business? By the way, if you can't write this down, just think about it. Just think about it. Like, where do you want to be 3 years from now with your business? What does your business look like? What does your customer base look like? What does your life look like? What does your day-to-day life look like? How much freedom do you have? Time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. What's your work-life balance? How many hours a week are you working? What are you working on? What does your team look like that's supporting you? And most importantly, how do you feel? What emotions do you have right now? Really focus in on what it is you want. Make it tangible, recognizable, attainable. Doing this will subconsciously enable you to achieve that, to make that a reality. Whether that's sitting on a beach with your family in your amazing beach house, sipping on a pina colada and working on your laptop writing. Is it standing in an auditorium of people speaking about something you are widely passionate about as they listen intently in awe of what you have to say? Whatever it is, write it down. Make sure that you're really taking this all in. Mindset is everything. So you really have to believe that these things are possible. This isn't some imaginary dreamland. This is a future that is actually achievable for you. So you just need to realize that. You need to realize that you have what it takes, and all of this is within reach. Don't get into semantics. Don't get into operations. How is this going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. Just write it all down and then move on to step number 2, which is to define what you want to achieve this year. So that was like your 3-year vision. Got a little bit more time to make that happen. What about this year? What about the end, 365 days from now? This will be the most important year in your journey because what you do this year will set the tone for everything after. So think about where you want to be. What does this next year look like for you? What are you working towards achieving? What are things you're doing and accomplishing in this upcoming year? What needs to happen this year in order to be able to get to where you want to be in 3 years from now? What initial wins are you hoping to achieve? What are you willing to sacrifice and invest to make this happen? It isn't about just all the great things that are going to happen in your life. You kind of have to it's a give and a take. What are you going to give in order to make that happen? What support are you going to get in order to make this happen? What things are you going to do to make sure that these goals happen this upcoming year? So take a few moments. You can pause this if you need to. Write this all down. And when you're ready, jump back in. Just imagine that failure is not an option. No matter what you pursued, you would succeed. What projects, experiences, promotions, what would you go after? Write down all of your ideas. And think specifically about things that'll move your business forward, whether that's getting you in front of your target audience, growing your community, driving traffic, generating leads, or making sales. What do you want to pursue this year to build that foundation in order to get you to your 3-year goal? Step number 3, set your revenue goals. So this is where we're going to be diving into numbers. We're going to be talking a little bit about numbers. Nothing too crazy, but it's important that we get quantitative in what you're looking to achieve. It makes things much more tangible, and it allows you to work backwards from that in order to put together a strategy to hit those goals. So your revenue goal is how much you'd like to make from the products or services that you plan to sell or that you sell. We're not going to get into calculating expenses and talking about profits and profit margins because this looks so dramatically different for every type of business or business model. So don't worry about that for now. For now, I just want you thinking about how much you want to make in sales, how much you're going to sell. We're going to start with that goal number and then, like I said, work backwards from that. I'm going to have you first write down your yearly revenue goal as a more established business 3 years from now. Remember, this is your time to shoot big. 3 years is a long time, and there's a lot you can accomplish in that amount of time. So whatever you believe can happen, can happen. Whatever you believe can't happen, likely can't happen. So believe it, and you can achieve it. That was really cheesy. I'm sorry. Once you have the future revenue goal set, I want you to set your revenue goals over the next 2 years. So this upcoming year and year 2. Something to keep in mind as you're doing this, your first years of business are often building years. So if you're just starting out, getting a strong foundation established, your web presence up and running, getting your products or services perfected, or setting up and optimizing your sales funnels, you need to think about that. It's going to take time to get those things done. Although you most definitely want to shoot for the stars, I want you to be realistic on the stage of business that you're in. Have an eye for your long-term goal. Play the long game and know that even if year 1 isn't going to be a big year for you revenue-wise, it's going to be a building year, then you're going to be able to make that up in order to hit your 3-year goal once you get those foundational pieces set. So income goals are going to be different for everyone. So let's say you have a full-time job right now. You're looking to get to a point where you're making enough with your business that it matches what you're making in your job. So say you have a salary of $60,000 a year. That comes out to $5,000 a month. So we would use $5,000 a month as your goal revenue number. I want you to think about this in terms of monthly revenue. We're going to be setting your yearly revenue, but we're also going to be calculating your monthly revenue, because having a business with a stable and reliable income requires money coming in consistently from month to month. So on your piece of paper or your notes app, I want you to jot down what your yearly and monthly revenue goals are over the next 3 years. So for example, in year 1, you may put $30,000 a year and divide that by 12. For 12 months, that would be $2,500 a month in revenue. That would be your goal for year 1. That at the end of that year, that is what you're hitting. For year 2, you may put $60,000 a year, which comes out to $5,000 a month. And for year 3, you may put $100,000 a year, which comes out to $8,300 a month, a little bit more than that. All right, so if you weren't following along with me and writing down your future vision and your goals and your revenue goals, then I want that to be your action item coming out of this episode. And as you're doing this, remember, with your own business, you have the potential to build something larger than you likely ever imagined possible. There is no glass ceiling, no one holding you back, no one telling you what you can and cannot do. It is all on you. So go after what it is you want, and what you believe in yourself is doable based on what you want to commit to it and what you want out of it. You'll want to set these goal numbers so that you can work backwards from that in order to pursue a strategy that will get you there, which I show you exactly how to do inside of My Biz U, where I walk you through everything that you need to do to get from where you are to on track for hitting the revenue goals that you've set within 90 days, even if you are starting from scratch, within 90 days. Everything from how to structure your offer in a way that will maximize your profits, how to begin to pre-sell your offer before it's even ready in order to get initial income in the door, how to set up and automate a sales funnel in order to give you an income that you can rely on month after month, and how to drive traffic for free to your business. No posting to social media, no creating a whole bunch of content, none of that. Just free, high quality prospects coming in hot on the daily. So to learn more about My Biz U and enroll, head to joinmybizu.com. This is not like any of the other programs out there where they just throw tactics at you and leave you to figure out which to prioritize, which to ignore, in what order to do them, and how to get them done. It is the step-by-step trainings walking you through exactly what to do. Completely customizable marketing strategy that's so unbelievably simple. Plus, you are not in this alone. As a member of My Biz U, you will also get ongoing support and coaching from me for just $3 a day. So if you're ready to hit these goals, and more importantly, your future vision 3 years out from now, and you're ready to make that a reality, head to joinmybizu.com to learn more and enroll. All right, that is it. I hope you got so much out of this, and I cannot wait to hear about you hitting these massive goals that you have set. And I hope to see you at next week's happy hour. Bye.